What's going on, Storm Riders? Welcome back to Hurricane Road, where you are forever in the eye of the storm. First off, let me take off my hat. Okay. And we have some 2XKO news. Now, if you didn't know, actually, first off, I appreciate anybody who actually stops by and watches the video. I know I'm not someone who's very prominent in the fighting game community, but I love League of Legends and I love 2XKO for what it is. I've played a good chunk, just not as much as I would like to, because I am an adult and I, have to do life stuff, and there's a bunch of other stuff I like doing. But I will try to keep up with everything 2XKO as much as I can. And there was some controversy earlier, but I'll save that for another video I want to make. But let's just go ahead and see what is next. This is a follow-up from that little controversy video that happened a little bit earlier. I'm pretty sure there's other people who have talked about it. I always am going to suggest to watch everyone who, in the community, anyone who's anyone. But let's just go ahead and read and see what's next. If you don't already know, right there, we got Akali right up here at the top. So if one thing we know for sure is Akali's in the game, which is a champion that should have been in their base roster, but we'll talk about that in another video too. But let's go into it. Hey everyone, Unconquerable here. We wanted to give you a quick preview of what's coming up for 2XKO. We would have made a video to talk about this face to face, but the team is heads down and we wanted to chat ASAP. Our focus. Our team is still fully committed and working hard on 2XKO, which is great to hear, and we're doubling down on building for the FGC that loves this genre. A few weeks ago, I mentioned that we're focused on three things: duo play, core gameplay, community, and competitive programs. Now, I am a bit of a loner. I'm just going to be truthful here. I play games by myself majority of the time. I have queued up with League with, friends and people before, but it's just something that I just kind of prefer. It's a different feel. But duo play, at least for 2XKO, is actually very interesting. I enjoyed watching the Frosty Falsterns, watching Sonic Fox and Enzem kind of just do some crazy, nasty shit that, that is actually something we may see further on down the road, So that was really cool. So I appreciate it for what it is, and it's a great way to kind of introduce a teamwork aspect to, I guess, to League players and also to FGC players. These are still big priorities for us moving forward, and I want to dig into them here. So duo play. It's been amazing to see so many players discover how fun 2XKO with a duo can be, and we want to make that experience more accessible. We've been prototyping a local duo mode experience that will let you and a friend play couch co-op together against the world. We're still finalizing our plans for the future, but it's a top priority and we're working to get it into the game as quickly as possible. That's amazing. I could see myself, being a kid, having some sort of access to a game console and finding 2XKO, having a brother or friend and picking it up. It's very, very interesting, and it could create a lot of cool dynamics in the future. Core gameplay. We've seen the conversation about what our core gameplay could or should look like in the future, and we want to clear one thing up. We love that 2XKO is fast-paced, allowing our reactions and creativity to shine while providing a ton of depth to dig into. The skill ceiling of this game is high, and that's where it's going to stay. Awesome. We'll continue making balance changes that hit outliers in the meta while keeping the sauce of every character. Sauce. At a high level, we want every champion to have defined strengths and weaknesses, and right now, that's not clear enough across all the cast. Weird. Okay. Community and competitive programs. We're looking to push how we support 2XKO tournament organizers and their communities in more ways. The competitive series. The 2026 competitive schedule is going strong, and our next challenger event is at Genesis X3, which I learned about through watching one of the prominent creators in FGC. And Genesis has been around if you watch Smash Brothers, so it's pretty cool. Tune in to the stream starting today, February 13th, and cheer on the best 2XK players in the day. Also, it's already started. Awesome. Community support. Among other things, we're working on a program that will give local TOs access to exclusive in-game prizing. which can't be earned anywhere else. The goal is to give smaller TOs new tools to expand and to reward players for joining their local community. That's awesome. We're testing this with a few locals soon. After that, we'll start taking applications to join the program. That's awesome. What we're hearing. We've also seen a few other conversations that we wanted to recognize. No major updates to share on these, but here's a quick recap of what we're hearing. Ranked. We're keeping an eye on the edge cases that affect finding fair matches in the ranked system. Always good. Screen tearing. We've seen the conversation among console players about screen tearing while in game, and we're working on an update to address this in the future. So I was watching Frosty Faustines, and I thought it was the Frosty Faustines like computer. Somehow it just had screen tearing, but I guess that was just like on the PlayStation 5 itself. So I'm glad to know that I wasn't just bugging or just kind of ragging on them. Oh, Yasuo and Echo, what we like to hear. These two characters are some of the sauciest in the roster, but we also see that their weaknesses aren't apparent enough at the highest level of play. Cool, so those are some things that they're going to address. And it's funny because I feel like with just more and more characters, like the sauce will just be, forever potent. But, what's next? Now let's take a look at 2 upcoming champions in 2XKO. Everything here is a work in progress. It's a work in progress, guys. It's not final or anything, but hey, we got characters in the game doing moves. We're getting there, baby. And first we got Akali. Is there sound? Why is it buffering? Oh my god, even better. Okay, even fucking better. So let's check out Akali. Oh my god, it was a couple seconds. It was too loud and also amazing. Oh my goodness. What's that one dude's name? There's some fighting game character that kind of has something similar. Can I slow the boat? Oh, we can slow the boat, baby. Let's just slow it down real quick and just look at Akali. She looks pretty good. She looks fucking cool. Oh man. This is a different design. In her league design, her shoes are vastly different. I know that. I don't mind it because the little red motif. One sec, bro. One sec. I didn't plan any of this out because I didn't know this was happening today. At work all day, doing work stuff. Let me go. I could open up the account, but we're not gonna do that. That's a little bit too much. Thankfully, Akali's at the top. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's do that, and then let's do this. Why did it give me a skin? Oh my lord, if you don't... Alright, so first off, if we look at... this is regular Akali. If I can just do this. This is regular Akali. This is her splash art. This is what it looks like. So in terms of hair, which is actually really funny, the hair is actually the same, which is amazing. But so here in her base, it's more of a teal greenish blue, and then she has green sashes. She's got the mask. Her hair's kind of like a spiky ponytail. And this one, she's got the ponytail, but they've added, instead of green, they added red. So I wonder if there is a color scheme that will allow for like the main, for the main like green. That would be cool. And they gave her some yellow. She doesn't really have that much yellow onto here. Honestly, this is her rework design, so way fucking better. Is there a... There isn't, and I'm not gonna look for it. But there's an older Akali design, but as you can see, her shoes are kind of more ninja-ish. I would say here they're kind of more streetish, which isn't bad by any means. By any means. Oh my god, that's amazing. She goes upside down. Oh man. And she's freaking, and she's going in and out of stealth. Not, I think I remember his name, Chip, but it has a little bit of Chip in there. But there's also someone else I just can't remember. But she's got a little bit of Chip in there, a little bit of Chip and Dale. And it's funny that they said the two sauciest characters, but now the sauciest character number 3 is trying to take that number 1 spot. And she might. She might. Dude, amazing, amazing stuff. And one more, and let's hear it one more time with just a little bit of sound. It's personal. Wow. And it is personal. Man, she's gonna be cool. And then we got meet Senna, who wields the power of light and shadow. Blast enemies with a massive cannon, then rush them down in her Wraith form. Wraith form? What? We'll have more to share about these two later, but in the meantime, we're looking forward to your hot takes in theory crafting. I spent a lot of time talking to the dev team and listening to players this week, and the messages of support and love you've sent mean a lot. Thanks for catching up with us, and we're looking forward to the journey ahead. See you in the lobby, Sean. Amazing stuff, but let's... Just very loud. Oh my god. Oh my god. What am I watching? What am I looking at here? Big gun. Wow. Wow. Cool stuff. Cool. Oh man, this is amazing. From just a league player standpoint, this is amazing. Look at how Senna looks. Oh my goodness me. And so this is Senna. Let me just bring this over here. Now, Senna's in the game, and there's that means we're only missing one more person from it. But this is Senna, and honestly, I'm actually happy that they went with the little afro puff in front, because Echo already has dreads. Like, he already has dreads. That's just a thing. So this is actually really amazing. Her design, pretty much one for one. You know, they've changed some belts. They changed like some belts and stuff around. The gun, pretty much the same. Looks fucking amazing in both. You know, she's got the earrings and all. Can't really see her blue eyes, but that's fine. But that's Senna. If I can get a Senna splash art. Ooh. You don't need a splash art. Okay. But Senna, freaking amazing. A very interesting choice. I didn't really think about Senna. It was kind of like leaked. Mute that. Kind of leaked a little bit earlier. But now we kind of have our first kind of Shadow Isles representation. And if you don't know anything about League of Legends, Shadow Isles is just a place inside the world, you know, with certain abilities, and it's mostly kind of deals with dead people and ghosts. There's a whole story about Senna. I suggest just going to look at it yourself, because it's very fun, it's interesting, and it kind of has some cohesion with some other champs, and one other champ that we hope that will come to the game as well. Oh man, seeing her gun, and look at her gun move. Her gun like can like, you know, like it doesn't have to always be together, which is actually really interesting. When she shoots it, it kind of like breaks apart. I will say Senna is a Sentinel of Light, is what we call them. I will say a little bit, but she's a Sentinel of Light, which kind of just means she's the good guy. She's the good guy in this ambiguous world of bad and good guys. Everyone's kind of doing stuff for their own reasons. There's no, you know, no one's essentially good or bad depending on what side you look at it from. But, you know, she runs that organization, and that's like her get up, and she has this big giant fucking gun, and I can't believe they got it into the game. Like when I think about it, the one girl Unica from not Grand Blue, holy shit, Unica from Guilty Gear is in the game. So I wonder if they took some inspiration from that, and I wonder what Unica took inspiration from too. But I think that is the inspiration that they got from, and then obviously just, you know, League of Legends in general. Man, amazing stuff. And the Wraith form is interesting because it's one of her abilities that she kind of gives stealth and movement speed in League. But in here, I get it takes away the gun, and you could do tornadoes and dive kicks. I wonder if the only way she's able to do that is if she hits opponents a certain way, or with like with the gun there. Because if you see here, once she shoots them, she gains some souls. I'm peeping this, right? I'm peeping, bruh. I got eyes. She took some soul essence, some green. Look at that. She took some soul essence. She took some more there, and then she turned into Wraith form. So she may have to actually balance this like form. I don't know if it's gonna be a bar that it goes up and then you get to use it and it goes down. I have no clue. I haven't played enough fighting games to even guess what they would do. But when in League, the amount of souls she gets, she does get powerful. So maybe when she does get the souls and she turns into her little Wraith form after this, maybe she does a little bit more damage. You never know. But a very interesting pick, and I'm kind of glad that we're getting some interesting picks. So we have Akali, who's going to just, you know, do ninja stuff, be fast, be crazy. And then we got Senna, who's gonna do a bunch of whatever the fuck, who knows. And it sounds like they got an original voice actor. It sounds like they did. But Tourette's KO is still here, even with the whole stuff that happened like literally not even a couple days ago, but probably was a couple days ago. Just, you know, of course there's gonna be people who are gonna doom the game, you know, all that type of stuff. But it's cool that they're actually chugging along, and that's probably why. And Conkerbol said that they didn't do the video because obviously they're just like, hey, we gotta, you know, get to work, do all this. So some cool stuff happening. I'm gonna play as much as I can when I get time. I hope that more people find this game, despite what has happened so far, and then people making things probably look more bleak than it is. You never really know. But I'm really hoping that this game can flourish because it's a League of Legends fighting game, and if this doesn't flourish, we're never gonna get a fucking other one. It's just not gonna happen. And this is something that me, myself, and a bunch of other people have been waiting for since we saw the 10th year anniversary. Like, amazing stuff. But thank you for watching the video. I appreciate it. Let me know what your favorite League character is and why they should be in 2XKO. And if you don't have one, go check them out and tell me which one you want in the game. Appreciate you guys for watching, and remember to keep riding the storm. Deuces.